game by game, scenario by scenario, you're going to get costed by these small things: not scouting in the bush, not committing the dead side, not triple weighing your cone and going in the middle, not picking a lane, not planning out rotates. And this next thing is going to catch you as well. And it probably already has. Probably already caught a lot of you guys watching right now, is editing towards the crowd. All right, yo, what's good, guys? We are in the Season Thesis Discord and we're doing a live member VOD review. We're going to be watching some solo games from the members of the Discord. So let's get straight into it. We got all the gameplay ready. We got all the boys and girls in the Discord ready to go. Say what's good. Say what's up to YouTube. Vibers. That's vibes. If you guys aren't in the Season Thesis Discord, you got to hop in here. We're doing these at least once a week, sometimes multiple times a week. This week we're doing it twice. So hey, this is for just free knowledge, live free knowledge. You're going to be able to ask your questions live, and it's a good time in here. Okay, so first we're going to watch Mr. Turtle 316 winning in the Fortnite Solo Victory Cup Finals. I'm also going to take notes. I also want to encourage you guys in the Discord to take notes. You guys know the drill. Yeah, let's go. So pretty dead lobby. And this is a solo finals, so
across the river of death. Please don't shoot me. I'm definitely gonna get sniped
at. All right, so I'm gonna comment. You guys know the drill. I'm gonna comment on everything possible because I want Mr. Turtle to get the most out of this game. So straight out of the gate here, right? There's something that, like, I don't know what the exact term will be, but it's simply it's rotating dead side and then cutting in too early and canceling out all the good things that you did before that, right? So I don't know how this mid game went this game, but what I do know is that he's on dead side. He's on the north side of the map. Okay. And he has a choice. He can swim straight up the gut. He can go, more in, which he knows this is obviously a bad choice to go left here. Just he decides to go straight up, which still puts him on dead side. And obviously, I don't know what he did after this, so we're going to see. But I just want to point out that when you are dead side, you need to commit to the dead side and just go this way. This is a clear shot. No one's here, right? You just quickly go around, up, and you're in. So we're about to see what he does. But the next thing, let me clear this. The next thing that I saw was these bushes. So always think about a bush, especially on a hill like this, especially holding the position that it's holding, which is a water, like someone has to swim across or cross a bridge to get to you. There's a likely chance that someone's gonna be in that bush. I don't think that this is a scenario where it's extremely likely because it is 38 players alive. But if it's 48 or 58, even 100% 58, there's gonna be a guy in that bush. So you'll see here when he comes up this hill. One, he should have seen that this bush was here. Two, you need to have wood out. Have wood out, because if, let's just say you get shot in the back right now. Forget the bush. You get shot in the back from the guy on the bridge. You get shot from somebody in the water swimming behind you that you didn't hear, didn't see, and you build, you're going to instantly waste 150 brick. 100 brick. Like, I'd be surprised if you used less than that. So use wood, right? You don't want to waste your hard materials too early. That's why you wouldn't build in metal here. Is the same reason why you shouldn't build in brick. It's use wood in early zones, and later zones use brick and metal. So here, right? He gets up to this bush. Instantly, I would start building. I would get at least a wall, like some wall, maybe a wall stair, and just try to get a shot into the bush before you kind of go up here, right? Like, if there's a guy in this bush, you're dead. Like, right? Like, you're running into it, right? So I think some of you guys know just a simple. I think the great habit to build would just be always clear bushes. Like, no matter what, if you have to pump it before you go in, no, you do that. If you have to spray it, you do that. If you have to build and then, just like this scenario where he had to kind of build to make himself safe because he didn't have a good angle to pump it, you have to do that. That's just what you have to do. So, and then we'll comment on the first thing, but I want you guys to obviously be taking your own notes. It's better to write these in your own words. But the first note would be always commit to dead side. Yeah, I'll just keep it to that. Always commit to that side. I mean, I was gonna write like any. I don't know how exactly to explain it, but like any shift inwards when you're going dead side could destroy the fact that you are on dead side. Does that make sense? It could take away. So like I mentioned earlier, how he had the option here to rotate up the hill, left or right. You know, left obviously would break his dead side rotation. Up the middle could break his dead side, and the right would not break his dead side. And then there's always those options like, and in super stack lobbies, you want to ride that fine line, and that's why you won't see like every pro doesn't just play dead side. Like that's not like that used to be a thing 2.5, 3 years ago where you could just play dead side because literally nobody knew and understood what dead side was. But now I would say probably all 38 players in this lobby, if you were to ask them, do you know what dead side is? They would say yes, even though they might not be on the dead side or rotating towards it. You know, they at least know what it is. Everyone knows what it is, right? The term is thrown around a lot. But so yeah, it's about riding that fine line of like, okay, you know, can he go up the hill here and then cut to the right and then cut back and then, you know, kind of just something like that. You know, you don't always have to go around. Like he wouldn't have to go all the way here to go to that side. You know what I'm saying? He could go here and then the bush and then gone. Does that make sense? So it's like riding that fine line of like not going too far dead side, but also not going too far in.
Thank God. Still got 2 crap.
Okay, next thing here. Whenever you get in a bush, after you clear it next time, always take the second to scout. There's no rush here. Not even if the zone was on your back. If the zone is 5 seconds away from touching you, you're still going to take your shotgun out or your AR and you're going to 80 or your pickaxe. I always just do shotgun because normally they don't have scopes. Take out your shotgun. You're going to ADS, scout around the bush, do a 360, right? Someone behind you, like you have there's no answers here, right? Literally nothing. Like you got in the bush for nothing. Also, you could take the bush not only to scout, but to take to box breathe if you need it, or to take a deep breath, right? There's a lot of things you can do in the bush. It's very chill. Switch your mats. Like you take your time to kind of just readjust yourself, get ready for the next rotate by scouting it. Yeah, so you end up not doing that. So you have no idea if there's a guy on the bridge behind you. You have no idea if someone's swimming in the water behind you, if someone is in this base to your left. You see the base. I know you see that. You can see these builds in front of you. You see the footsteps. You see this now. But like you could have seen all of this from the bush and said, hey, I'm going to run for a bit and create a plan, right? I'm going to run for a bit, grapple to the top of this, sling left, because I know I can't go to the right. So I'm going to go down left, boom, boom, boom. And you can draw up a quick plan, just something to work off of, even if it's not accurate.
Got 2 crap. Don't do it.
Like it avoids that, like just 30 damage or even a server focus here. Like you are in a very server focusable position. Like this is prime positioning right here to be full sprayed by the entire lobby. So that alone is like a big reason to scout. Like you boxed right here, right between this guy's fire, this guy if you wanted. You don't know if this guy's in the bush. The guy behind you that could box right here, he could like, this is the reason why you scout is to not go in this lane here. You know, you want to stick either closer to this guy right here or even closer to this guy. Like you want to pick a side. That's why no one's here. You gotta pick a lane.
Don't do it.
And then yeah, instantly, I've talked about this a lot. You guys know. I'm gonna write this in my notes, but pick a lane. We'll do always pre-scout, rotates, especially in bushes, and then pick a lane if possible. Like have something to base yourself off of, right? You don't like just free ball every single rotate. Like don't do that. Do size, prepare something. And then yeah, triple weight cone, right? Everyone knows that. I hope that you guys all have that in your notes, have all a good understanding of why that's so important. But you can be in a server focusable spot at any point in the game. That's Fortnite, right? Like you might just have to be here. But if you can triple weight cone fast enough, you can protect yourself from everybody else quick enough to make it a less likely chance that you do get server focused. And this is a big thing that can help that.
Don't do it. Dude, this sucks. We should have picked up the big pots.
Should have scouted in the bush. Alright, I'm sorry.
This guy's just looking at me, dude. Now we're eternally gonna be stared at by this man.
Fair. You see, if you didn't cut in dead side where you'd be, let's see. I mean, it's hard to tell, right? But you'd probably be at that bush or to the left of it at the road, right? Like, you guys can see my cursor, I think, but
this guy's just looking at me, dude.
Yeah, you'd be in a way better spot.
Now we're eternally gonna be stared at by this man. Shoot him. Open up and shoot this man. Ah, you're lame.
And now again, like, you rotated dead side, you did everything before this, but because you canceled out your dead side rotate, now you're on the hot side. You're seeing people come in. This is a very, like, even if this guy wasn't here, I could predict that not only this guy, probably another 1 or 2 guys will come in on your side of zone, somewhere near you, which just makes your next rotate extremely hard.
You shoot me, but you don't shoot that guy. Oh, so
and this time needs to be like, you can look around and you can conversate with yourself about what you want to do or what might happen if this guy, or, you can do what you're doing. This is fine. But take the next 10 seconds from this point forward, right? The 10 seconds before zone shows. Take those 10 seconds and plan out your next rotate, your ABC options, just like you could have done when you're in the bush. Now you're going to look ahead and say, okay, where can I grapple to sling the highest? Where can I make sure I don't get server focused? What lane can I pick? Those things.
Basically, you don't want to shoot him because he actually fired back at you. Wow. Stunning. Please pull. Please. Oh my goodness.
Okay. So this is a prime example of what, like, okay, this might come off disrespectful, but at the same time, if you're here and you genuinely wanting to learn, then I'm here to provide you with as much criticism as possible. But this is you are the player, you are the average player in this entire lobby. Like, what you're doing is not, you're not the only person doing this. You're seeing the guys around you that they're rotating into the hot side. They are checking their map, checking the zone before it pops. They're not preparing rotates. This is a prime example for those that are watching this game, and even for you, Mr. Turtle, like, to understand like what you can do to separate yourself as a player. It's just very simple stuff, right? It's pre-planning rotates and staying on the dead side, picking a right lane and not being server focused and not having to waste hard mats too early by being on the dead side. All those things make you stand out as not the average player, but I promise you, there is another 20, 30, probably good 30 players in this lobby that are doing exactly what you're doing. The zone pops, they wait for it to pop, it goes, they see it so far, they zoom into the map, they mark them out. Like, dude, you can do all of this way before this even happens. You can go in and you can see where you want to go. And even if you don't rotate early, you can start calculating, okay, nice, that guy went. That's one guy that needs to go. Okay, this guy needs to go before me. Once he goes, then this guy goes, and then I can go. Or, maybe I go, if worst case scenario, I go to the right. Like, you create multiple options for yourself before and during.
All the way up there. Oh, we're so dead. We got all 4 grapples. Gets going. I need this kid in front of me to go. Please, just get going. You go? All right.
Yep. So you rotate, pretty simple. There's really not much to critique on the rotate. I would say the minor things would be you could probably have grappled a little further if you hit a tree or you slid on one of the grapples, which I'm not saying that would have been the best choice because, of course, there's guys holding you. So in this situation, I think it was pretty fair. My personal opinion, though, I would always rather save one charge. I would rather save one charge on my grapple than use all 4 because you never know if you get server focused. You can't afford to wait those 10 seconds between grapple charges to recharge to get one. Always have just something to bail yourself out if you need to. Yeah, so you use all the charges here. And then when you come in zone here, I don't know if you see that guy on the hill. I'm sure you do. Like, you'd have to see this guy in the wood, right? Like, I don't think there's anybody in there looking at it now, but like, if I was playing this, I would think that someone's in that wood. I think that everyone in here that's watching would agree that, like, Even if he could still be there, I don't know. But what you don't do is you don't turn your back to the crowd, right? This is when you triple way edit your cone, right? I'll do a little Fortnite in-game example. When you triple way edit your cone, and everyone's behind me. Let's say they're all boxed up here. There's 6,000 players, whatever. Okay, 6,000 people. Imagine. You don't turn your back like this and sit in your cone and look this way, right? You do this, and now you're protected because there's one guy back here. So what you did is the opposite, right? You turned your back towards the crowd. You put your back and your stare kind of towards the crowd.
All right. For now, you're sitting. Wait for it to recharge a little bit more.
And then yeah, you're just doing minimal scouting, right? You're just sitting through a wall. It's like what? Just put a cone, dude. It's one build. Put a cone, a brick cone, and just come up here. Okay, now we're just waiting for it to recharge. We're just waiting. We're waiting. A, B, C, A option, B option, C option. Like you're not doing any of the fundamentals that will help you be more successful more consistently.
And then we're gonna box. We're gonna wait for 3, 2. All right, 10 seconds. Don't you do it? I swear.
Also, another mistake that you're about to do that may not have cost you. A lot of these things seem to not have costed you yet. You lost 30 shield. That was the only thing that I would say that took a chunk out of this game. But little by little, game by game, scenario by scenario, you're going to get costed by these small things. Not scouting in the bush, not committing the dead side, not triple weighing your cone and going in the middle, not picking a lane, not planning out rotates. All the things we've talked about so far. And this next thing is going to catch you as well. And it probably already has. It's probably already caught a lot of you guys watching right now. Is editing towards the crowd, right? So again, we'll use a scenario. Everyone's over here, okay? I'm just like you in this scenario. What I'm not going to do is, and I didn't mention it before because like this scenario right here, if you guys see this little mini picture, it's kind of the same scenario where you're editing towards the crowd. I would have much rather preferred you to, instead of going at your cone like this to grapple, I would much rather if you just came down and like edited through like this and ran and then grappled, right? But it is fine because you did need to go. But anyways, this scenario right here, okay? The crowd is in front of you, okay? You haven't scouted out a cone, so we'll try to build it exactly like you have it. So you're like this. Instead of editing towards the crowd and literally running and just opening up on the wall, right? That guy in the wood box could literally be watching you, waiting. He hasn't sprayed you yet. He's waiting for you to run out, and he's gonna hit you for 100, hit you for 60, for 50, and he's gonna jump in. Or you get pinched by 2 teams. They're both looking down here, or even they're not even looking at you, and they're just looking down the hill, right? Because there's still guys maybe coming in and storm. You don't know that, okay? You never, ever, ever, never edit towards the crowd. Never edit towards the crowd. Write that in your notes if you've never heard me say it. I'll write it down myself. Never edit towards the crowd. Okay? Never edit towards the crowd. So what you do instead of doing this is you flip your stare and you come out here from the side and you look like this. You scout, right? Because scouting is important because you didn't do it here. I would scout, but if you don't want to scout for some reason, at least you go like this and then jumple and grapple. Jumple. Jumple is not even a word. You just grapple. Yeah, you just jump and grapple. Right? That's a very easy mechanic to do. Jump out of your box and grapple. But instead of, yeah, so don't edit towards the crowd. That's a major thing in Fortnite that'll get you killed a lot.
Thank you for finally.
And you had no idea those guys were there, right?
For finally.
Also, I will say, I'm assuming this, honestly, Mr. Turtle, but from hearing your breathing, from hearing the way you're playing, the way you're moving, like, you're very nervous. It looks like you're extremely nervous. And I would be very nervous too if someone told me to go play a solo game without scouting anything and with like sending it all every time. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would be very nervous if I didn't prepare a rotate, if I didn't scout around me in my cone, if I just sent it and I just edited towards it, like it's going to make you nervous. You're going to do things you don't want to do, like use an extra grapple charge or use extra mats when you don't have to. Trip away.
Do it. Somebody's gonna look back at me.
Okay. Also, this is a prime opportunity for you to have changed layers. So you see this, right? You see that like nobody is in that brick. Like this is instantly what I'm realizing. Like when I'm watching this, I'm looking at this brick right here, right? Where my crosshair is, where my cursor is. Nobody's in this brick right here. It's all like you can see there's a guy in there somewhere, but like I think he's in this box. I think he's in that wood box. Like obviously I'm not gonna sit here and say in the game I would have known exactly where that player was, but you can see what this guy's doing. He's getting pretty close to that box, and because you are grappling, you're moving quick, this guy's not gonna magically just edit out his wall and box you, right? You don't have to be in fear of somebody just being a straight like AI robot best player in the game. Like that's not happening in these lobbies. So you 100% can take the time right now to literally just climb the walls. You just come up here, right? You're about to land. You land right here. You run up the stairs here. Maybe you put a cone. Maybe you side jump. Maybe you put a cone here, right? Let's just do cone, right? You put a cone here. You jump back and mantle, right? That's a very simple mechanic. And then maybe you do it again. I don't know. You put another cone, jump back and mantle, and then you're up. And then now you're next to this guy and you're boxing here, right? Way, way better. Or even here, like you're boxing here or above this guy. Like, I don't know. There's you don't be sitting down here on the low ground. This makes you just fall into the same habit that you've been in of just not scouting. You can't scout on low ground. If the zone pulls across the mountain, you have zero knowledge of what's going on. And again, that's all part of like that baseline habit of constantly making sure you can scout. Because you once you process what I'm telling you, and you apply it to your future games of like, okay, Cease always told me every time I get a chance, I'm scouting in my cone. I'm never going to rotate without scouting out of a bush, out of my cone. I'm never going to edit towards the crowd, those things. Once you have like the baseline of what I'm teaching you, you won't even want to be in this position. You'll instantly know like, no, this is bad positioning. Like, because Cease told me I need to be able to scout and I can't scout from down here, right? You'll just add like basic math.
You do it,
right? Also, in my opinion, with the way the lobby is, I mean, you're on 40 ping, so maybe not, but I'd be using some wood here. I'm not gonna lie. I know I always say use brick, but it is a pretty dead game and you're in a relatively dead spot. Like you could definitely sit here and make 2 wood boxes, and I would much rather have you do that than waste 2 brick boxes, right? Like you sit here in brick, say don't you do it. He does it, you come down here, and now you're doing another box in brick, rather than if you just went straight into it and you just went, you know, like this, boxed up, and then you just made your second box here. Now you can play off the box if he does it, right? If he's smacking your cone, you just come here, flip it, you're holding it. Oh, he's got it. You're here, you instantly have it set up, right? Like this is why you have 2 boxes. This is a big reason of how this can be beneficial. Because this happened before. I saw you say something before of like, don't do it. Don't spray me. I know you're going to do it. Don't do it. Like, just why wait? Just prepare. Right? Like, just know he probably will do it. And so you'll just either not need to be in the position on the low ground. Don't be down there so he can't. Or make an extra box out of light mats. Or even hard mats if you really want to. It's really not that big of a deal if you're confident in getting a refresh. But I always look at these games like they're the most stacked pro-onlys type of lobby, right? And I'm sure we've all experienced a really, really stacked solo game where it's like 50 up in moving zones, 40 up, storm surge, everything. So you know how important it is and how hard it is to kill a pro in a lobby consistently. Like you can't just be using this many mats and solos and expecting to get a refresh constantly. Like not a single pro can do that in an all pro lobby, which again, this isn't that. So you can be confident in these lobbies. You can get a refresh. But we'll see how this goes.
Somebody's gonna look back at me.
So now think about this.
Stop trying to key me.
You are out of positioning if zone pulls. You can't scout. You're out of positioning. You've already lost all your brick, pretty much. Right? You've got like a couple, like 1-2 boxes left. And now you're just praying again that zone pulls to you, which is a bad thing to play off of. So it doesn't.
It pulls far.
Imagine if you were in that spot. Imagine if you were elevated right now. It pulls far. No big deal. Because guess what you would do? You would just. I mean, we'll go back. We can probably look at it. You would probably just grappler to. You probably grappler, what, straight up to here. You grapple up to here, you sling down, and then down the hill you go. And now you're here. All that takes to do this is literally just elevate right here. Find a way to use wood and just climb up and then hard box. Or even get past this if you really want to not, if you don't want to climb up here, you're sketched about that. Go past it, right? Come around here, go past it. And box right where my cursor is.
Oh, dead. It might actually be over this time.
Again, what are you doing to prepare for this rotate? Nothing. This is the reason why so many of you guys struggle, is because you cannot consistently plan on rotates. You guys don't consistently plan on rotates. This is the reason why. You have to pre-plan rotates as much as possible if you want to be successful.
Please leave me alone.
Editing towards the crowd, right? Burning hard mats before you're actually in zone here.
Please leave me alone.
Like, dude, this game, it really is simple. Like right here, like this is what I'm picking up in the exact moment. You're right here. If you're looking up a bit more, which is easy, you just box right here in wood. Okay, just real quick, you box in wood, no big deal. You have 150 hearts, and then you just find your spot in zone. Maybe it's right here. Maybe it's above this guy right here on the left side of the screen, and you box right here. No big deal. It's simple, easy. But instead, you waste a bunch of floors here, and then for some reason you drop. I don't know why. Maybe to connect, I guess. But I would still not. I wouldn't go down that easy. I would go put cones on my floors and hold the walls. Even if I'm on your ping, I know you're high ping. And then here again, you edit towards the crowd, right? This is now you guys can really see why this could be bad, right? I think you're only one box away too. So instead of wasting your space, like leaving it right now, this is gone. You're never going to get back to this space. Even if the zone pulls back, it's going to be a struggle to get back here. Just build one more box in. You're literally that close. You're in right now. Like your character is literally in. You're one box. Or just instead of doing this, like if you're already, it seems like you're already comfortable being on a lower positioning, just instead of grappling, why don't you just sprint jump in, and then you would land on low ground right here on this dirt and just box. You know? There it is. Simple as that. It saves you from this. It saves you from like the panic. Like everyone has a panic. Even me, dude. There is a bit of panic when you grappler. I don't know if there's a grappler in this game, but I mean, we'll use this as an example. Like when you grappler, you're always like making that noise. You're gonna get sprayed. Like it always happens. So why have to do that? Just run in right there on low ground.
Dude. Alright, we're in at least. We spent way more mats than I probably should have ever spent doing one rotate, but literally it's pulled far from us like 8 times now. Please just be on our side for once.
I mean, yeah, that's not an invalid or an unvalid point. Like if zone does pull very far constantly, it is gonna your mats are not. You can't recover consistently like that every game. You can't have a max pulls 10 out of 10 games and expect to do insanely well, or 3 out of 3 for these solos. You can't. It's very hard. You need some zone pulls, which you'll probably get a break here. It looks like. Yeah, so you get a decent pull here, but you should 100% be 250 to 300 mats higher than what you have right now.
Yeah, I died right there. I want to grab that so badly. Pulls that way.
Okay. Also, when you're doing this, everyone, I need everyone to be making sure you guys are on this. When you're marking zones here, take your time. Zoom in on the map. Know what the hills are. Like, know that this is a hill. Know this is a road. know that the road, I don't know, goes south across the water. Like just know what's around it, and then know. Again, you can pre-plan if it goes up the hill. If you see it goes north, you don't have, because you're not going to be in moving zones. Okay, you're not constantly going to be able to open the map, analyze the zone, look at the hills, look at the water. Okay, it's got a railway, it's got a building, it's going through the island. Like you're not going to be able to do that. It's not impossible consistently, especially in stacked lobbies. So just do it now. Scout the mountains. Say, hey, okay, hey, there's a hill. If it pulls north, if I see any type of north pole indication on my mini map, I know it's going to go up. I have to climb layers. I have to start getting elevated. If it pulls south, it's all low ground. It's all water. I can go straight to low ground and play water and just wait for people to jump in the water and I'll get a free kill. Also, when you mark the zone, mark actually in the zone. Because this is like, I think if you went to this exact marker, you would be in storm. Or like, you wouldn't want to be here. No one, I think we would all agree that you wouldn't want to be in this exact positioning. You'd want to be at least, I mean, at least on the dot, right? At least like a little bit in. I mean, ideally you sit like around this way, you know, around, this is kind of hard to show, but around the line. But yeah, you're just kind of marking it, be like, okay, got the, like, at least you have the base of that. I will say that I am proud of you for having the marking the zones. You've done that this entire game, it seems like, or at least the last 2 zones. So that's very good. Good mechanic, good core mechanic to have.
Looking this way is probably going to get us a refresh or kill.
I like that too. Mindset, right? Hey, it is what it is. Even if you knew everything I'm saying right now, some things still don't go as planned. And that's Fortnite. And that is what it is. So you have to change your mindset and say, okay, hey, I've got 500 bats. I've got whatever, you know, 1,000 mats. I got to get a refresh. If you know this, if you don't have the mats that you know is enough for you, you got to go for a refresh. You just have to. You have to commit to it early on and not try to stretch your game out to the last little bit. I would say the only reason you should stretch your game out to the last little bit, where you use every build before you go for a refresh, or like you use every build but 5 builds or 10 builds, is in like super stacked lobbies, like World Cup solo finals. Those type of games is when you stretch out to get as much as you possibly can before you go for the refresh. But I mean, these lobbies are not like that at all. So, and you wouldn't want to do these in these lobbies anyways, because everyone is so stacked in the final 15 for the most part, because everyone's constantly getting refreshes. So you kind of have to join them. Also, just analyzing your loadout, right? Knowing your loadout. This is confusing. If you knew your loadout, this is confusing. So, one, unless you have, I don't even know, unless you have a mythic pump, this is the only reason why you should probably be looking for a pump shot on these guys. But you have a drum. You're gonna hit this guy for 20, 30 max, 30 max. Okay. So you go for the shot, overextend yourself to the rest of the lobby without actually scouting to your right. Like, you don't know, someone could be you could be the victim, right? And then you come back and spray, knowing your guns, which doesn't seem like you knew the guns you have. You have an AK, which is the slowest shooting gun, one of the slowest shooting ARs in the game, with a what is this, like a 4x scope? Not a 4x, but a 2x. You know, with a pretty big scope on it. So like your ADS is like, you're zoomed, like you are in his face, right? Just like when I say knowing your guns, it's like you wouldn't, like, nobody wants a 4x scope right now, because why would you want, like, it's too zoom, right? So knowing the gun that you have is slow, it's not like a gold or mythic version of it. So how much are you gonna hit this guy for? Like, I bet we could all guess, if you hit both those guys, the shotgun's gonna do max 30 off of 2 shots. You're gonna have to hit him twice to do 30 max. This guy, you hit him once, maybe twice, that's 60. Twice is 60. So, and that's really unlikely as well, because it is such a slow gun. So knowing your guns is a huge thing, right? Knowing that, look, I have a drum shotgun and I have a slow shooting AR. My refresh has to be from getting in the box. I have to use this ammo in my shotgun. I have to make sure I'm fully reloaded at all times. Make sure it's got 8 to 12, whatever you have for the mods on the gun. reload it at all times, and you're ready to jump in a box as soon as you see somebody edit, right? So same thing like here, right? You see this guy's edit, your instinct, because you know your guns, needs to be, okay, real slow, crouch on this guy, put a ramp down, and try to jump in with your shotgun. Like if that's the refresh you wanted to go for, which obviously it's not saying you shouldn't do that. I think you know that, but that's how you have to understand your guns to know the best ways to use them. Also, on that note, maybe, I mean, I can't tell you the last time I got a refresh where it was like straight up spraying somebody like this. I can't tell you the last time I've killed somebody like this and got the full kill and like actually got the loot, got the drip, or even the shotgun. Like I couldn't tell you the last time I've done this to somebody and killed, like fully just killed them and got all their loot. The best way, I mean, I think we will all agree on this as well. The best way to get a refresh is to grapple ahead here and box fight somebody. Or grapple ahead, wait for somebody to get fried in their back and jump in on their back. That is the way. So we're about to see. So didn't scout, got pumps. Not saying that was exactly the reason why, but it's probably likely. Builds hard, it's good. Okay, now I gotta look out of your cone, find that opportunity. Utilize the guns you have. Not in zone here. Okay, so your window to fight just closed. Like you had that second to maybe smack in this guy's wall below you, right? But you know, now zone's on your back, so it's closed. Here's an opportunity, the guy right behind you. Straight here, diagonal. Smack at his wall, see what he does.
Pulls that way.
Also, you're seeing here like the grapple, right? Like how chaotic and stressful it can be. You didn't mean to grapple on this guy to pull you down. Like look, the grapple just connected to that guy and pulled you down. Like that is like, that could have happened back in this last rotate when you just decided to grapple, right? Instead of sprinting in. Sometimes it's easier just to sprint and pick a side. Like you can sprint right here, this left side here, and then grapple, right? You don't have to force every single time. Also, just negative thoughts and negative comments, especially speaking them aloud and putting them into action, is always a bad thing. Like psychology will always say that's a bad thing. You never want to say, I'm the worst person. I'm so bad at this game. I can't get a refresh. I'm horrible. I have the worst aim. I have the worst mechanics. I won't kill this guy. I'll never get a kill. I'll never get a refresh. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. We're screwed. The game's over. Like, you don't want to say that. I'm not saying you need to go sit out there and go be like, I'm gonna get a kill. I'm the best player alive. Like you can do that if you really, really want, but like don't speak negative into existence, right? At least be somewhat positive. You're like, all right, like knowing your game plan. All right, look, I gotta get a refresh with the shotgun. This is my chance. The shotgun's my chance. The shotgun's my chance. Like saying that is like still a positive comment than like, I'm dead. It's over. I've heard you say that multiple times. So that's why I'm speaking on it right now. Again, so just refresh 101. I can't tell you the last time I've done this exact play and gotten a refresh and gotten everything. Like, it doesn't happen. Maybe 2 years ago. So like, you got to change your mindset for how to get refreshes a bit. And I mentioned box fighting and going ahead, like seeing this opportunity right here and getting on this guy's wall, right? Building a box, getting on this guy's wall on low ground, knowing that he can't build like he builds a cone or a stair. It's stuck in the floor. So he's like kind of tricky layer, or even seeing like this guy's, fighting this guy. So now you get on this guy's back, like right here, you go in between. I don't know, but like you got to change your mindset for how to get refreshes because this is not working.
Let me up.
There's your refresh. Jump in. You have the chance right there. Take advantage of the stair, right? You're on the stair. Literally just come straight down right below you right now and jump in, phase in. This isn't going to work. Start box fighting right now. Reload your AR, start box fighting this guy. This is your chance. Zone pulls, instantly start boxing this guy. You have to. You have that extra bonus time, right? Where you have a chance to do something. Okay, your bonus time closed because now everyone's in front of you now, or people are getting in front of you, right? So somebody runs past you randomly, right? Like this isn't gonna happen in a crazy stack lobby, but it works. It's solos, so I'm not gonna say it's not a bad, you know, bad refresh. Another like random kill, I'd say. Really good mats now. Analyzing, you have good mats. Get up. Elevate. Climb. Make sure you're second height. Look at height. This is what you... now your game changed, right? You got that really good refresh right there. Quickly analyze that. Pick up on it. As soon as you get a really big mat refresh, that is your time to go for height. That's how you win games. Simple as that. So right now, you just got 500 mat refresh. I know you used a little bit. You don't need any more. Like, trust me, you are good. The guy above you has far less mats. And take the chance on height. Like, start spraying him out. Start putting pressure on him. Doing something. I mean, dude, what am I hearing? Hold on. Okay. Thought I heard height shooting with a shotgun. I was about to say. There might not even be a height. You're top 4, and I see 2 guys below you. So that's another thing too, right? When you're in these final 5s, final 8s, I'd say, because you probably can count around 7, 8 people. Start picking out. All right, I hear 2 guys below me, 1 guy above me. There's your final 4, because you're one of them, right? 2 guys below you, 1 guy above you. You know you're the only guy mid ground because the guys below you are both fighting each other. You know there's 1 guy height. So what do I hear right now? I hear a guy below me guaranteed. I know like that pink skin is somewhere below me. I don't really hear height though. Still not really hearing height. No one's above me spraying me. All right. You kill this guy. Great. You get his mats. Analyze again. What do you hear? There's no one low ground, right? So you know that. Like, you kill this guy, you have low ground now. Right? So instead of freaking out, let's see what you do. So continue to drop low. You hear him fighting above you. Drop here and look up. Simple, right? That guy's already playing heal off, so you can start doing this as well, right? Okay, this guy's already in storm. He's already been playing heal off. Both of them are obviously not in zone. They're both in storm right now. So they're already playing heal off. So if you get this med kit off a bit earlier, like I know you have a bit of time here, right? Analyzing things like that, picking up on the players and what they're doing. Even if you can't see them, you can predict where they are. So here you could be, okay, I see med kits, the reload. Don't need to reload my shotgun anymore, right? It's heal off now, where no one's actually fighting. And even still, 7 bullets is more than enough. Drop my AR, pick up these extra med kits. Stop popping a med kit right now so I can get to like 80 and then pop another one and see if you can win this game from heal off. Because you know they're both not healing off, or they are currently healing off right now. Also, when you're healing off here, I mean, looks like you knew you wanted to get the extra med kits just in case, which is a smart choice, like to go pick them up or try to. But definitely just commit to hiding and not exposing yourself. Like, just sit like here. Like, just sit like this. Just sit and hide and just wait and see if he drops in front of you. Instead of exposing yourself. Like, this is like asking for the guy above you to shoot you. Standing still, waiting, hoping. Still standing still. Like, this is just asking. This guy's got to be... right? Because you could still have you could have popped his medkits right here, been super safe on below this ramp or the floor, and then ran down here or got down here on the last medkit like right now. Picked him up. Or you could have done it before the zone closed, right? Prepare. Look, here's this guy in height. He's coming down.
I won. Oh my goodness, I won. I got $100. I actually earned. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh.
Let's go, dude. Yeah. So, I mean, let's see if I can round out my notes before I read your guys' notes. And so I think the big things were all these things. So always clear bushes. Always commit to dead side. Always pre-scout rotates, especially when you're in a bush. Pick a lane if possible. Never triple way cone. Sorry, triple way cone. Never edit towards the crowd. And then probably Mr. Turtle needs to analyze how to. Is it reanalyze need a dash? I don't think it does, right? I don't know. Reanalyze how to get refreshes, right? Like what you did this game, and you might agree with me. I think you probably will. Is like this is inconsistent. There's no way. There's literally no way every single game you could play and just edit your wall and wait for somebody to run by and die. Like that's literally what you did for like 2 to 3 refreshes. You just waited. This guy randomly ran by, like so lucky, right? You needed the kill, and he was like 100 HP, and you got it. Like that is there's no way you can do that every single game. It's impossible. But you can find a way to reanalyze your refreshes. Like I said, box fight somebody ahead of zone. Use the time like right here. Where was it? It was actually this box right here where you pulled zone. You could box fight somebody because you have that extra bit of time. You have that advantage. So reanalyze how to get refreshes. Like it is very simple, but understand what you did. This game was extremely inconsistent. Minus, I would say the only thing that you could do consistently would be like just jumping on somebody with your shotgun, which you did here. Like you just like jumped in this guy. This is pretty consistent, right? You can just absolutely just jump in a guy's box. Like that is not. I'm not saying you're gonna get 5 like the mats you got. You got like 800 mats. No, less than that, but still. Like, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, that's probably the only consistent thing that you can look at for your refreshes that you got this entire game, and that ended up being the one you needed the most. Okay, so questions, comments, concerns, notes. Definitely want to see what you guys have. And yeah, feel free to ask any questions. Turtle VOD. What do you mean, Turtle VOD? Water view 2.5 or 2:15, 24. Solo game 1, commit to dead side. When you're on dead side, a bush on a hill or holding place is likely to be. Yep. Don't waste hard mats too early. Always clear bushes. When in a bush, scout, pre-scout rotates, instant triple way cone. Don't edit towards the crowd. Know when to layer change. Know your loadout, so you'll know how to get it right. Yes, exactly right. If you have a mythic AR, like you want to use that, or if you have the Peter Griffin pump shotgun, like that's going to be your way to get a refresh. You're not going to want to just jump in a box with the SMG. You're going to make sure your shotgun's reloaded. Utilize the guns you have. Don't need to force grapples. That's a big one. Yeah, negative thoughts are horrible. Yeah, don't just be like, I'm gonna lose. It's over. Yeah, when healing off, commit to hiding. Always scout. Protect congested side. Edit away from the crowd. I don't know what that means, but edit away from the crowd. Plan on needing refreshes. Yeah, like prepare yourself for your game, right? Sometimes you're 5v5 and you'll say, hey, I'm max mats. I'm playing full safe. I'm not risking anything. Like plan how you want to play your game in the moment. So like, I'm 100 mats. I need a refresh. I have to go for something. So let me think about all the ways that I get refreshes and how my loadout can make me get an easier refresh, right? That's the thought process. Avoid negative thoughts. Yeah, just don't speak them aloud. Like, you can take a fight. Let's say like you jump in somebody's box and you miss 5 shots, but you end up killing the guy. Like you're probably still going to think to yourself like, oh my God, that was way too close. Or I'm not even like, that was wild. Like I can't, these guys are way too good for me. I don't know. Like you just don't be saying it out loud though. Yeah. Make sure your notes are readable, correct, and make sense. That's a good comm. Definitely take notes like this. I think mine are pretty readable. I'll post them in the chat so you guys can have them. As you guys can see how I format my notes, it's very important. Formatting notes is super, super important. Writing them like this with little dashes for the bullet points, and then you put a line, enter the space, boom. Okay, cool. Let's continue. Okay, so that is it for Mr. Turtle. Thank you guys so much for watching. We learned a lot in this. I mean, I'll quickly go over all the things we learned, but always clearing bushes, making sure that nobody's in the bush before you go in it, pumping it, shooting it, whatever you have to do to make sure that nobody's in there waiting for you. And then when you're on dead side, when you're rotating dead side, committing to the dead side, making sure that you are not cutting in too early. Always pre-scouting your rotates, especially when you're in the bushes and when you're in your cone, in your box, you're waiting for the next zone. You're always going to plan A, B, C. What options are you going to go with? And then when you're in your box, especially if you're in a server focusable position, always triple way edit your cone. It will save you so much. And then never edit towards the crowd. When you're rotating towards zone, never edit out towards the crowd, letting them know that you left your box, letting them know that you're about to leave your box or that you are currently leaving your box. You never want to edit towards them, towards the crowd. And then for Mr. Turtle, personally, just needs to reanalyze how to get refreshes. And I think I pointed out some really good ways, but there's a ton of ways to get refreshes in Fortnite, down to like all the nitty gritty stuff with certain items and wall health and phasing and all that stuff. Like there's a lot you can do to maximize your refresh potential. And that just comes down to fighting and box fighting for the most part. So yeah, that's it. All right, later.